put these back. So hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors, live from Mississippi. I'm getting ready to cook some fish. I have got this basket fire fired up. That is what you hear roaring. I got 2 more fillets I'm gonna put back in the refrigerator. I'm gonna freeze. So what I have come up with is I bought me a bigger dish pan and a strainer with some legs on it to sit in there, so I can put my fish in here, cover it with this topper so that the flies can't get to it, and it drains a lot of that water off to where it don't make my meal clump up. So let me put these, let me get my other bucket I got. Right now I've got, well, 2 buckets of catfish. I had 3. So I'm putting these in here, and probably what I'm going to do is freeze the rest of these until sometime next week, because we're going to cook them, I think, next Friday night for Lissy's rehearsal supper. So that be the reason for all the fishing and collecting fish and bringing that many fish home. Got me a bag.
Saying that this is live, you still got time to make it.
Yeah, yeah, you got, come on, and I got plenty. Sure do got plenty. I gotta go reach them off, or I need you to in a minute when I get these bottoms cut. Me and Brody picked these the other day, and I've had them in the refrigerator, and see these chanterelles. But I reached down and just plucked them up, so the bottom, you see how the bottom is nasty? That is.
Mr. Jeff's not here tonight. He comes moderating.
Yeah. Yeah, we needed some help last week. I don't know where all them hussies last week come from, but they was plaguing us pretty good. These need wrenching off. I may batter them into something. I don't know. I'm gonna cook. All right, let me get my means we got this, we gonna use it. I had somebody sent me, a subscriber sent me a big can of that, so hey, and it's good. I don't have any issues with it. You know, a lot of people, they like, oh, I gotta use this one thing. That's all. I'll try anything. And I find that most times, most things are pretty decent, which I'm not a real picky eater. I can tell you if it ain't good now. I'm gonna help it out just a hair. With old Brother Tony's. I talked to a man this week that watches the channel that went on vacation, and he met the grandson of Mr. Tony Satchery's and didn't realize that he was talking to him. He told me the story. He said, man, I was sitting there talking to him. He said, I asked him, I said, what do you do? And the guy said, have you heard of Tony Satchery's? And he said, yeah. He said, well, that's us. He said, really? Yeah. All right. The next thing I'm going to do, we just on 150 on that. My garbage can done got full over there. Dial them fish pretty good with that Louisiana hot sauce. the original. I like Louisiana. I like the flavor. It ain't really that hot. Y'all know how to cook. I'm just telling you what I do. If you don't like it, don't do it. So, Mark Meltzer, how are you, Robin Sullivan? I'm just skipping over. Good Lord and all the names. Man, we done got 100 people on here. There ain't no way I can go through and name all these names. Yeah, Jeff, you be on them hussies. Hey, they was coming on to me pretty strong. I thought Michelle was gonna get hot under the collar. She was about to get fired up out of mouth. What?
Mr. Glenn wants us to give a shout out to his daddy, Randy Reagan. He's been watching our channel and he just retired after 40 years. That's a long time.
Randy Reagan.
Yeah. Mr. Randy Reagan.
Well, Randy Reagan, thank you so much for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. And I'm sure by now you know that the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. And that's what we're doing tonight. We're doing it the way we want to. Yeah. Hey, you got plenty of time to go fishing now. I've took off and fished pretty hard this week myself because I'm gonna be honest with you. I got my feelings hurt down there on that coast. I thought I was at least gonna catch a fish or two, and I struggled pretty good. And I said, you know what? I'm going back to the land of the free and up there where I know what's what and what I'm doing. I had to redeem myself is what happened. And I have this week. I'll be honest with you though, the Grinnell has outsmarted us this week, which I hadn't really targeted Grinnell hard, but I've caught two that was dead. Me and Brody got one in the boat. And I let it get out of the boat and it hurt Brody's feelings. I picked that joker up and it flopped and went back in the water and Brody got upset with me when I lost that
Girl,
Grinnell.
where that t-shirt is. You didn't wear your new t-shirt.
No, it's on the Etsy shop. And it says beside there's several t-shirts on there. There's one that's got put them in the cooler on the back. Now the one that says the best way to do things is the name of the shirt. And I think it's in a tan, two different greens, this green, and then there's a dark green color, which is the military green. This, I think, is the heather military green. There's some other color, and then there is a pink I said the ladies is gonna want a pink one. And all of them have the orange logo. I may eventually do one with the green letters so that we can do like the gray and some of the other colors and have green lettering on them. So we'll see. I think I'm gonna cook these bone pieces. Y'all, I love to cook. Like after I've cut the fillet off, I like that tail. Now, I don't do that every time I clean fish. This time I have done quite a bit of it. I think I can cook all of this at one time.
Y'all, it's been hot today.
All right, I'm done with that.
I took Brody to a birthday party and I thought I was going to burn up. So this can be washed.
Yeah, I'm done with all that.
I'm going to go in and wash all this stuff so I don't have to do it later tonight.
I had a shirt out here for a rag. What happened to my rag?
It's still out there. I just got to find where I know it. Oh, here it is.
I had this under here where I could wipe all this sludge off this cutting board. I try to keep things somewhat decent out
I
here.
come out here and rinsed everything down today.
She come out and decorated what she done. You see my pretty tablecloth? Look sitting in that chair right there.
I got tired of it being so nasty.
Y'all see that? And then I got me a pretty tablecloth on my table over there. I still clean up my corner over yonder. I got some old wood and junk piled around. We almost to 250. We won't be far from cooking him directly. think Mr. Thor's the one sent me this. This is actually pretty good stuff. I will tell you this confession though. I ain't found nothing that beats that Superior catfish bread. That stuff is good. I'm gonna have to go back by there and get me a sack of that. I ain't been up that way though recently. Brody said if we didn't catch enough catfish right here to feed these folks next Friday, that we was going to run jugs at Pratt up there on Tom Big. And I'd like to, but next week I got my hands full. We got to be prepping, cleaning up. I got some stuff that's got to be cleaned up. I really need to run the tractor through some of these gardens and try to clean them up if it don't come another rain before Monday. And I've got some knives I got to get made because all the money I made last week I spent on vacation. And then I paid my bills and I about broke again. You know how that happens fast. So I got to get some knives made and I got some orders. And I got something I'll show y'all. Y'all don't remind me when I sit down over there to show y'all a prototype I'm working on. I'm a mite proud of it. I got a long ways to go on it, but I come up with this knife idea. And I said, I want this. This is what I want. And I about built it, but I want some micarta handles on it. And I'll show y'all in a little while. You'll see why in a minute. Local life, it is good bread. And that Zatarain's is good stuff. I don't have any complaints with it. If I did, I wouldn't be using it. I'd be using, because I got a sack of yellow cornmeal. It ain't a lack of cornmeal. John Culpepper, how are you? See who all we got. Man. I'll get Michelle in a little bit to bring that other shirt out here. She'll know where it's at. I don't. I take them off and throw them at the clothes basket. You know a man ain't gonna put stuff in the correct clothes basket. She fussed at me one day about it, and I said, well, which clothes basket is the dirty one? Because if I throw dirty clothes in that clean basket of clothes, you ain't gonna be happy with me. So which basket, how do I know this? Baskets don't have labels on them. And they ain't got the same clothes in them every time. So, you know, that was in my defense. I don't know that it was worth it. I don't know if I won that fight or not, but I give it a good try. We usually do link the pottery website in all the videos. There's a link in all of my videos in the description to the shipping address, the pottery, the Etsy store, and the Amazon store. And I need to update the Amazon store. But I'm going to wait till I get to test run this hammock and whoopee I bought. And if I like it and it seems like it's going to be a good thing, I'm going to add it to the store. And the tarp that I'm using is no longer available on Amazon. So I really had thought about buying a new tarp just so I had one I could share a link to that was current on Amazon. Because the old one I got's been a good one. No problem with this, a 10 by 10. So I thought about getting me like a 5 by 7 or 8 by 8 or something like that. I'm watching this temperature. I'm just about to 275. I like to let it get over 275 to almost 300 before I start putting fish. It's green, dark green, yellow, orange letters on the back. And right now I'm almost to 300. That way when I drop my meat in there, it'll drop that temperature down. And you don't want to drop it below 275. I like for it to fall back down to 275. And I have a bunch of people say, you can't cook at 275. I've been doing it for about 20 years, but you know, knock yourself out. I'm not going to argue with you. Because if you like to cook at 350, that's where you need to cook it. I'm a firm believer in doing it the way you like to do it. If it makes you happy, brother, that's what you need to do. Don't y'all see things that way? I mean, If that's what you like, do it that way. Just because I do it different don't mean you got to do it the way I do it. Just because I'm making videos don't make me 100% right on everything. Even though I happen to think it does, it probably don't. Oh, look at the golden breaded catfish. Oh, I think we finna hear those sizzle sizzle. Let me get over there with y'all. Y'all gonna want to see this, ain't you? I knowed you would. I want to drop them big. Look at that. Woo! Get in there. I'm gonna put them fillets over there on that side. They might take a little longer. And y'all notice I cut most of these fillets in half. I don't have a good reason for that. I just wanted to do it. I really wanted to get all of that in there. I believe I did. We're done with this.
So here's that shirt. This is the front side. And this is the back side.
And y'all, they are that soft style. They're not those thick, heavy cotton, so they're great summertime shirts. This is what I like, what I wear. They just, I don't know, they're more comfortable.
That's the tag on the shirt.
Same way with the hats that Joey's making, them Richardson hats. Best hats that you can make. And that's why I like them and let him make them, because you're getting good hats. And I think these shirts are the same way. These gilded shirts seem to hold up. I was using some at one time, and I'm bad to grab a shirt right here when I go to take it off to pull it over my head, and I'd rip them right here. These have been holding up. And I done ruined this, and I got a stain on there that won't quit. And like that comedian, he said, when you're a fat guy and you get a stain on your shirt, he said, you done. He said, everybody's like, look at that fat slob. That's about right when I go, because, I mean, you got this old belly hanging out and a stain on it. They go, that boy eating way too much. I got scolded one time because I said something about fat people, and I didn't realize it, but I guess they excluded me from the fat people. I felt like I was fat people myself, so forgive me for that one. I've tried to come up with a bandana thing. I don't know how to pull off the bandana. Uncle Sasquatch is not on tonight. Oh, Lord. I bet he is. I don't know. He's used to Friday night. I know that. Yeah, I ain't seen it. Alicia said they was about to grill some pork chops. Butterfly Farm said they got this brand of shirts at work. Huckleberry, the sizing seems to be accurate to me. I wear a large in most things. So I order large and they fit me fine. So I'm trying to read comments as they come up right here too.
I need to tell whoever sent Lisa that wedding video. I don't know if they're watching.
Kathy and them. Stan, come on and eat with us whenever you want to. You're always welcome. And here's y'all, I know we new to Saturday night. This is the first episode of the currently going to But anyway, the lives, I need something to put fish on. What's that? You better hurry. I need to get them out of here. Oh, we slacking. I come out here about Hancock. But I transitioned from Friday night to Saturday night because I've got plans to take Brody camping some more. And Friday night is a good night for a lot of that to happen. Now, we run limb hooks last night up at right about dark. And it was about 7:38 when we got back home. And then we went back and run them this morning and pulled them all up. We filmed both of that. So it really opened up and made you guys another video because I was actually losing a lot of times getting to film much on Friday because I needed to go live that night. So it's going to create more videos. Now it did make me crunch today to go sit down and get just in time film. And I bet that's a bowl that I made there because it's got that crack to it. I don't make powder no more. Yeah, them done. We got hush puppies to go in there. Alright. Back up, keep the flies out. Let's do this. Oh, y'all, look at that. What that black spot is. Look at that. Oh, y'all, come on. Brody ain't even here tonight, y'all. Before anybody even ask about Brody, Brody done run off to bubbles. Brody said he didn't want nothing to do with us tonight. Y'all see what I'm enduring? It's tempting to get too much on your spoon. Oh, you did. All right, I'm saving this for something special. Y'all turn around and I'll show you what. You see these chanterelles? Yeah. Yeah, brother. Now it's got an orange tint to it.
Mr. Mike said he's here.
Mike.
Are these things, I don't know if they're going to turn themselves or not.
Probably ain't. They supposed to flip themselves, but they not. They brown too much. Let's get them flipped. I was getting sidetracked. I was hoping they'd turn themselves. Them crumbs, you know what that is? That's hush puppies for sure. That's dog food right there. Well, sir. Right there, see, that's dog food. Roscoe, he's over there laid in that recliner. Hey, look at him. He ain't budged. Look right there.
He said it's Saturday night. It's time to relax.
Hey, he's got it whooped, I'm telling you.
Uncle Sasquatch said he got his yard Wednesday before it rains again. They must be getting a lot of rain too.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off, even though I ain't through cooking, because it won't take me but a minute. See these chanterelles? I'm gonna make hush puppy chanterelles. So what I'm doing is dipping them in that and dropping them in there.
They'll be burned up.
Yeah, they will be. But I'm not, they kind of tender. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing them down in there, and then I'm taking my spoon and just kind of raking that up on them. And then you kind of pull them out, and they break up a little bit. But it ain't.
I guess I better be going fixing some tea.
Yeah, I'm about to drink my Gatorade up.
Hey, Mr. Eddie. And Missy Powers wants to know when we're going to do a meet and greet.
Oh, Lord, I did one today all day long. Felt like it. Seriously, I've had people in and out all day today. So I really don't know. I plan to do a cooking at some point, but with the wedding and everything else going on this year, we did one a couple of years ago. We did a stew. I cooked and invited a bunch of folks. But to meet and greet everybody, you got to pick a location because everybody's from so far out, all different kind of places. I don't know. Y'all will have to make some suggestions on that. That's what we need to do. All right. Now we got chanterelle puppies. Chanterelle puppies. I'm going to put them on this paper plate over here so I can keep them separated.
Well, that's our eating plate.
Well,
But it's
I'll
all
eat
right.
out
I'll
of
go
it.
get another one.
I'll eat out of it. I mean,
Okay, so I don't want that.
what?
No chanterelle.
Why?
I just don't want
You? How come you don't want any?
it. I just don't want it.
You don't trust my ability to forage
No, I
safe
do.
food.
I just don't like hairball.
You ain't never eat meat
I
now.
have. I made these hush puppies are right tonight. These fish don't got bones, do they?
Not the fillets. Y'all hear that? I had some poor sap on Facebook. He said, "Oh, this is one of these soft boys. Can't get a bone in his mouth." Look, hand.
I don't eat bones.
I can eat the bones. Don't bother me. But when you got a good woman that'll cook as good as she does, make a biscuit as good as hers, and she says she don't like bones in her fish, you'll stay there and cut all them bones out. That's just all there is to it.
He even picks my fish out for me.
I mean, you know,
When we had bones,
I just knew when he said that he didn't have a clue.
When we have eat
Salt.
brim and stuff, he picks my brim out for me and puts them on my plate.
That right there is going to be a fine eating piece of fish. We got to say the blessing. Thank you, Lord, for the woods in the creek. Thank you, Lord, for the food we eat. Thank you, Lord, for the fish that swim. Thank you, Lord, for all of them. Thank you, Lord, for the plants that grow. Thank you, Lord, for the white-tailed doe. Thank you, Lord, for the birds that sing. Thank you, Lord, for everything. Amen.
Amen. I'm going to get the white bread.
All right. I want to see what this chanterelle tastes like. It's all right. If you love hush puppies and you love chanterelles, this is for you. But you gotta like both.
You bring yours to the table?
Yeah.
Here, I'll take that. You get the camera.
Get what?
The camera.
We gotta have this too.
We're rearranging, folks.
Well, where am I gonna sit?
Right there.
Let me get right over here.
Y'all can't see what we doing.
Let me get right over here.
Oh, where I put the candle at?
Did you sit down where it was?
I'm gonna turn
Put the
y'all
camera
around,
where you
folks.
was standing.
Y'all gonna get drunk.
Shake them around.
Is that close enough?
No, move.
Oh. I'm not a good camera setter.
Let's do this way.
It'll be something to catch this paper towel on fire. There's your tea.
All right. I can see the comments and stuff now. All right, y'all.
I hate y'all to see us eat.
Said don't take Roscoe's seat. Watch it. Walk like right here. Look, Roscoe. Yeah.
Is that a jalapeno?
No, ain't
Hush
no
puppy?
jalapenos, a chanterelle.
Oh.
Bowl of home, 2 bowls, Mike Reeves. I know you didn't sit there and eat 2 bowls. I can't say nothing. I'm tempted. I've been trying to cut back here lately. I'm trying to get rid of this dish pan under my shirt.
I thought you two was gonna get together and go fishing.
Well, both of us is too busy. I took Raymond yesterday.
Yeah.
You about just got to show up when I'm fixing to go to get to go. It's too hard for me to plan anything.
Mr. Mike said, looks like we on a date. We got a candlelit dinner right here.
Hey, it's about as close as it'll get, too. Because I'm going to tell you, you can't afford to go out to eat. We eat out a time or two while we was going to the coast. We don't want to do that much. It cost you $100 to go out somewhere and eat. Glenn McDaniel with that prayer is on a cutting board for $75. You can get a big old cutting board that Joey makes at M4 Laser Works. He laser etches it into a cutting board, and it's beautiful. I do have it, and then I got one that Mr. Gaucher made me and sent to me that's on a plaque. It's hanging up in there by the kitchen. Huckleberry, I prefer a home cooked meal by far. And for several reasons. Number one, I get better food at the house. And then number two is I don't just trust everybody handling my food. I really don't. Now, I ain't just the cleanest person in the world. Like, I ain't walking around washing my hands every 5 seconds.
Bill Valentine, you got that right. Brody likes to go get chicken nuggets from McDonald's. And it's expensive if you have a whole truckload of folks to feed.
And I don't even like McDonald's. Now, I will eat a hamburger. If I go to have to get him chicken nuggets and a Happy Meal, and I'm hungry, I'll get me a hamburger. I ain't one of them that like I refuse to eat it, but I ain't gonna sit here and make out like I like it either. I mean, it's just something to feed you up.
I always get that number 7, and it seems like it keeps going up. No, Ricky Johnson, I still ain't tried that pie yet. I hadn't bought him buttermilk lately. Let's see, Waze wants to know, so live is on Saturdays. Yes.
Dalton want to know if the crappie's biting at Oak Tibby. Oak Tibby is by far the best lake to go try to catch crappie in, I'll tell you that.
Jeff Claudel said he's eating bologna and a mater sandwich. That sounds good too. I've been wanting a fresh tomato, but we ain't got any yet. Ours is still green.
Jill got a bologna and mater sandwich. You know, I ain't never eat a bologna and mater sandwich. I bet I have too.
I'm sure you have.
I bet I have too. We bad to eat just a mayonnaise and tomato. Yeah, because I used to would fry the bologna. John Dummett said he got food poisoning at McDonald's. I don't doubt it. You run that risk anytime you go eat anywhere that you ain't the one cooking. Because, I mean, they in it for the money. So, if there's food about to go bad and they think they can sell it, they going to try to sell it every time if the health of people ain't standing there watching them. And just because the food at a restaurant's expensive, don't mean they getting rich either, you know.
Miss Janet, I had to eat ketchup. If I'm eating fish, I gotta have ketchup on it.
I can eat the fish without ketchup, but now I like ketchup on it. But now I'm bad to put that hot sauce in my ketchup. I didn't a while ago, but it was purely because I didn't think about it when I was doing it.
And I like loaf bread with mine.
Muirhead Pottery from Pennsylvania. Welcome tonight.
Hello. William Roberts said, I stopped going to Mickey D's. The price was too high and the ice cream machine was always broke. That's the truth. And
yeah, I don't know if it's ever worked.
Sonic, too. I was so disappointed in Sonic. We went what?
Well, and here's why. We used to have some really good Sonics here. We had really good management over our Sonics. The guy that owned a lot of the Sonics in the area, the individual building, not the franchise, but the individual little places, lived in Philadelphia. And he took care of them and done a good job. And they was well run, and he had good management over each one of them. And then I think his health went down, and the guy that he had running it, what happened to Tyrone? He quit or something, wasn't it?
I don't know. I think it's still in the family. We ain't gonna say it, but I just know the ice cream machine.
But at Sonic, you know, the black guy that was running this one up here, when he quit, it went down.
I don't know.
I can't remember his name. I think it was Tyrone. But when he run it, it was well run and done good. And I don't know who managed it now, but it ain't worth a flip.
The ice cream had a different texture the other night, and I was really upset. And plus, they took the Snickers Blast away a year ago, and I only wanted a Snickers Blast.
The Lord probably done that.
Huckleberry, I've been working in my building. I haven't got it set up to sell anything in it. I've been using it though.
I keep wanting to wipe my hands on that shirt over there. Where is Carter's Lake? Is that the one in Georgia? On Doll Mountain? Where Michelle's blood pressure went through the roof?
Is that where that is?
I think.
I'm not sleeping on the mountain no more.
The I'll live close Philadelphia, have kinfolk over there. Yeah, Philadelphia, Mississippi. Brian Rowe, I know what you're talking about. I really hate to throw off on people on cell phones because be honest with you, I have to spend a lot of time on mine. But yeah, when you're getting paid by somebody by the hour, you don't need to be on your phone then. But I'm usually running all of this stuff through mine. Or making a feeble attempt to.
Rosa, I'm sure he'll have some Jerry jokes tonight. He's got Brody at supper time every night.
Brody wants to tell his own jokes.
He's been making up his own Jerry Clyde jokes.
He makes up stuff about Marcel Ledbetter. I've officially ruined that boy, I can tell y'all. He ain't worth knocking in the head. Kathy, we are drinking sweet tea.
But it's not y'all sweet tea. It's Red Diamond sweet tea. I hadn't never ordered any of the y'all sweet tea. But Brenda Gant drinks it. She was advertising it the other day.
I ain't never heard of y'all sweet tea. Where you find that at?
You ordered online through their website. I think they're out of Georgia or somewhere.
Cornbread, the Cherokee purple tomatoes are really good to eat. I have found that they're not worth the flip for canning and preserving. I've struggled to can stuff. If you put them in salsa and stuff like that, it'll go bad. I don't know why. I think it's because they dark and they got a lot of green still in them. Homemade ice cream. We finna make some homemade ice cream pretty quick. Because Martin sent us an ice cream maker last year. We ain't even got it out this year yet.
Not yet, we haven't.
But we ain't been here. I ain't gonna even be able to eat all these fish. I ain't gonna be able to eat them.
The wedding is next weekend.
Raymond, I got 5 fish, well 6. We had 1 crappie. Right there where we put the boat in, there was a crappie hanging on that line that was already there on that old little hook, and he was dead when we got there. But we had 5 catfish and 1 crappie this morning. And I pulled all the lines up. I'm done for right now.
Bill, I know one Merritt, I think.
Merritt?
Yeah.
What was that little boy that come out here? Wasn't he a Merritt? He wasn't from here though. Merritt. I know some Merritts.
I know Suzanne Merritt.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Nancy. We had never pickled any tomatoes.
I got some that Mike Guerin sent me from Oklahoma that was good.
Yeah.
He pickled them little small tomatoes, and he done a good job with them. They was really delicious.
These hush puppies are good because I made them.
Fitzgerald said the ambience of citronella candle. He said, I know it all too well. That's a way of life down here in the South. We ain't hooked up our bug light that what's her name sent us. This.
Not yet. It's in the camper. We took it camping.
We took it to the camping and ain't got it out of the camper. I'm about ready to hook that camper up and go back.
Nancy, I don't cook eggplant. I'm not crazy about eggplant, but now Justin's mama, she cooks it.
My mama grows it and cooks it all the time. She loves it.
How's that ketchup?
I'm through. I don't know what we're gonna do with all this food. Stan, where you at? Somebody come eat the rest of this fish and hush puppies.
How many pieces did you eat?
Like 3 or 4. I'm trying to cut back and I'm getting there. I don't need to be eating all that junk, but now. I ate a hamburger I found in yonder earlier. I was about to starve. I ain't eat all day.
Is Miss Kathy the one that sent that gift?
I think so. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think so.
Thank you, Kathy. She got it and she opened it and she loved it.
Yes. She said something about a jar of scriptures was in there that she really liked. So I didn't see it. She come in after midnight and then got up and left before 7 o'clock, and I never even talked to her.
She leaves.
So she come back in at about dinner yesterday, got her stuff and left headed to the coast, didn't she?
Yeah, her and some friends were going to the beach.
I guess it was her bachelorette weekends. Ain't no telling what they into down there.
They probably shopping.
But now we don't have to worry about her. Lissy has always been a good young'un. I ain't never had to worry about her getting into any mischief when she was off on her own. So I ain't worried about what she's doing. Well, she's grown now. It ain't for me to worry about.
Lindsay says she got her knife and she loves it.
Keith said he got some tomatoes just now starting to turn red. We should have some starting to turn in a little while, but y'all, we picked a squash this week, but one of them had a hole in it. Them little old worm things is... Roscoe, you want some fish? Look at him, y'all. Look at him.
Mr. Raymond said he done ate or he was going to eat.
I don't know why, but I can't eat. I'm full. I'm done. I'm through.
We got enough hush puppies to go around to each neighbor's house and give them a hush puppy.
Yeah, hush puppy. That hush him up.
We cooked the hush puppies a little too long, but they're still good.
It's hard to be perfect at everything you do. Hey, we got blackberries out here, Fitz. These that I transplanted, they just out of the camera, but they way on out yonder. Well, we was cutting the grass yesterday, and Brody was on the lawnmower with me, and he seen them, and they turning brown. So I let him off, and he runs over and starts eating them. Well, I got off the mower and walked over there and started eating them, and they was sour. Every one of them. I do not, as much rain as we've had, they ought to be big as any thumb, but they little old bitty things. Now, we found some down there on the bank of the creek, and they was good. Big, fat, juicy. But these over here is just as hard and bitter as they can be.
Rosa, I got one squash yesterday. I'll tell Lacey Sharon that you've got a package coming for her so she'll know.
Suzanne has picked her pumpkins. She's on the other side of the globe. She's in Australia. They're on the bottom side there. They in the fall right now.
Oh.
Fall going into winter. You know, it's odd that it's, flip, everything's reversed. When you start, you don't think about it till you start talking to people, and everything's like right backwards. And work's exactly the same, I'm assuming. We planting and getting ready for spring, and y'all over there preparing for winter. Rosa said she picked a Walmart bag full.
That was a lot of squash.
Yeah. We got about 4 or 5 plants. I ain't getting nothing to come up this year. I talked to a man over here. He usually sells vegetables. And he said he didn't know if he was even going to have enough for him and his family to eat.
Who?
Carrie and them. I mean, everybody around here is struggling to plant stuff and grow. I mean, the ones that's got stuff has worked their head off and babysitted it and been finicky with it to get it to do anything. And I just ain't focused on it this year to fight it and make it happen. I wanted to fish, and I have fished. Now, I hadn't done nothing with the crappie. I'll be honest with you, the crappie whooped me this year. But I put a hurting on some catfish so far, and I ain't through yet. Snap beans in a few days.
Robert, Michigan, said they just planted their tomato plants 2 days ago.
Kurt, I don't have any idea what to eat that grinnell. I'm leaning towards otter. I'm like everybody else. I think an alligator would have just snatched the whole thing off the line.
What are you doing?
You want another hush puppy? And I don't know that we've got some big turtles, but I don't know that a turtle could have killed that big of a grinnell. I mean, I guess he could have. It was on the line, but I mean, there was a lot of grinnell gone. There was at least that much grinnell missing. He would have been, he was a big grinnell. I'm leaning towards otter. But now I don't know that. JB, my garden, I can't get in it either. It's wet, and I've got some sweet potatoes I wanted to plant, but the grass is so thick that I don't know if I can plant them. I'm going to have to get the tractor down there and plow good before I can plant them, so I don't know if it's even worth fooling with.
I'm going to take this in.
Cornbread Suzanne is in the land down under in Australia. They're on the southern hemisphere, so the seasons are completely reversed to where we are. I don't know what part of Australia, but I know she's down in Australia. And I think it's so cool to have somebody from down there on here. And a lot of times we have Irene Mina on here, and they're from Guam, which is over there out from Japan, but it's like way out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean out there. I mean, a little speck when you start pulling it up. I've sent a knife to her and her husband. 2 knives, actually. I've got jalapenos coming on, John. Bill, griddle ain't any good if you don't know how to handle the fish. You'll hear a lot of people saying that it's how you cook griddle. It don't really have anything to do with how you cook them. Because I've cooked griddles several different ways, and it's good every way you cook it. The trick to a griddle is you got to keep that fish alive till you get home and you ready to cook. You can't put him on ice and throw him in an ice chest. You can't. When he dies, he starts getting soft and turning to mush. So the whole trick is keep him alive till you ready to cook. Mike want to know what time in Australia it is now. As big as Australia is, Mike, I imagine that's like in the United States. It depends on which side of it you own. I'm assuming. I don't know that. David Russian, how are you? You got some collard greens? I figured you was eating poke salad right now. It's growing like crazy around here. I had the intentions of doing a video on it, and I've been filming too. I got 2 fishing videos to edit.
It's 10:30 in the morning in Australia.
10:30 in the morning. Well, we're knocking you out of your work by having our live at this time. We're going to have to move it forward so you can have it with your coffee. Western Australia.
What day is it there?
I don't know. Are you a day? Is it Sunday there or is it? It's got to be Sunday morning. It's got to be.
Lucky.
Yeah, it's got to be Sunday morning there at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, because all Dave says they're 15 hours ahead.
It can't be Saturday morning. That would be hours behind, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You can tell we some poor rednecks from down here in Mississippi. We go to Cypher, we got to start pulling our shoes off to start counting days.
Roxy, what are you doing?
Roscoe's a bit impatient. He won't know what you did with his fish.
He's just. I took it in, Roscoe.
Mama hauled your fish off. Matt, how are you tonight?
Nancy, we hadn't. I don't know how they are. We ain't even been down there to dig them to see if they're ready. The potatoes.
Ray P, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy that knife. Greg, we gonna wait till the wedding's over? I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to stop by there when I wind up making my trip to. I'm planning at some point to go to West Virginia. I was gonna go this spring, but the wedding come up, and that has thrown a monkey wrench in all of our going and doing. So when do you want to go? When do you want to plan to go north? Do you want to go in the summer or do you want to go in the fall? We're going to stop and baptize Greg and his son in Tennessee. They in East Tennessee. You want to make a trip up there and just in the summer and...
Yeah. I don't want to go when it's cold.
No, I don't want to go when it's cold, but I didn't know if you want to wait till leaves start changing up in the Appalachian Mountains.
Roscoe's very needy tonight.
Doug, I imagine when the rain stops, I imagine we're going to be begging for rain in a few months. I just feel like when it quits raining, it's going to quit. I got an eerie feeling of that. I could be wrong. I hope I am. Inglewood, Tennessee.
Uncle Sasquatch says I'm in his chair. I guess I am. I'm in the one that's got the cushion in it.
Yeah. He's a lapdog, is what it is. He's wanting to get over here to me, is what he's wanting.
On top of that table.
Come on.
Don't let him get on the table. That candle, he's going to burn his tail.
He's worried about this plate of fish over here is what's on his mind. Look at him looking at it. He's going to sit there and watch it. That's what's bothering him right there. Get off from over my drink.
Oh, Suzanne said she stayed up for just in time last night. She got her days mixed up.
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Suzanne. I had to change it for my personal benefit, really. I want to take Brody and do some camping and go with some adventures and listen to this. Well, come on, get down. Come on, get down. I can't see. Come on. He's worried about that plate over there. Come on, get down. Roscoe, get down. Come on. So I got a phone call last night, and here in the 20th of June on a Friday night, I've got a speaking engagement that I'm going to get to go speak at a men's thing. It's a fish cooking for a church, and they've asked me to come speak, so I'm looking forward about that. Hadn't seen any smoke down this far south.
I thought you wanted it in that seat.
Yeah, Eric, if we wait for the leaves to change, we've got to go all the way up to the northern part of West Virginia and see somebody up there. So I need to, Greg wants to see the prototype knife. Modern Outdoors, I've been wanting to get baptized. Well, where are you at? Because I would love to just make a tour that I boom, 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 stop, and we'll pick rivers, creeks, whatever y'all got around. You'll find something in your area. We'll stop and make it happen. Because I ain't scared to wade off in nowhere to baptize somebody. We'll take a stick and whoop the gators back if we got to. Mike Culpepper said his plantain salve turned out good. He sent me a picture today, y'all. He had the crock pot out making plantain salve, and I think the crock pot is a really, really practical way to do it. The easiest way is to put it in a jar, cover it with oil, and put the lid on it and set it out in the sun and leave it for about 2 or 3 days out in full sun, or at least in a window that gets full sun where it gets hot, and it'll infuse it. But the crock pot, slow, it won't burn, just let it go and let it do its thing. The problem with the crock pot, it's a big bulky thing to strain out and pour all your liquid out of. But Southwest Virginia. We could make that happen at the same trip. Southwest Virginia, we could come right up there. I need to go by, and I think Jeff is in. Jeff, you're in the southern part of Ohio, somewhere there. He's wanting to be baptized, so I need to hit all of these and make all of this happen. I want to do it. I really do. Doug, I'm supposed to be going somewhere near Wheeling up there. Wheeling, I think, is one of the bigger towns. Jeff, you still want to be baptized, or did you get somebody to make that happen for you? I knew Jeff had mentioned it at one time, but now I don't blame somebody if you want to go ahead and get somebody else to do it. I understand that, because I mean, if something happened and you didn't get it done in time, that'd be a bad deal. So I don't hold it against nobody, you know. If you wanted me to do it and you wind up getting somebody else to go ahead and do it, I totally understand that.
You're just gonna stand here in my lap all night.
Matt said he lost a knife out back. I was reading the comments. I was talking about hitting it with a lawnmower. Yeah, you'll know when you hit it with a lawnmower, but it won't be worth finding then. All right, well, let me move all of this over here. Get in my rocking chair. I had to plug everything up to a battery chargers, because I don't, well, one thing, phone, I've been filming all that. Well, if you count the live, this is the third video. I filmed fishing this morning, and then I filmed, what else did I film? Just in time is what I filmed. So y'all, this knife right here has got a paracord wrapped handle on it. That is not a permanent deal. So before I show it to you, the cord wrapping is on here for the simple fact that I have ordered some OD Green micarta, and it is on back order. I order a lot of my stuff from Pops out of Georgia, and they were out of stock on micarta. So I went over and I looked at American Knife Makers, and they had it. So I ordered a couple of belts and a couple of things I wanted, and I ordered the micarta I wanted. Well, they shipped everything and then shipped me a letter and said, this is on back order, and I don't have no clue how long. So today, I ordered one set of scales off of Amazon. I don't like ordering stuff off Amazon. No, I didn't. It wasn't Amazon. I ordered them from Jantz. I found them on Jantz, and and that's out of Texas. So I'm going to put green micarta on here with fluorescent orange liners so that it'll match my shirt, my orange and stuff. So I wanted a survival knife, and I've been kicking this idea around, and yes, I have looked at knives that other knife makers makes. I did not really like everything about them. I like William Collins, And he's got some design like this. He's not the only one. I looked at some others. He's probably one of the more popular with this two-stage design, I call it. The thing I don't like about Williams Collins knives is the sharpened edge is the same all the way down it. So when it changes bevels, the sharpened part is the same angle through the whole knife. So I don't understand the point and the reason for changing the bevel. So what I wanted was a survival knife. So this is going to have a micarta handle with a lanyard in it that's OD green. I just wrapped this so that I could get a feel for if I liked the design and the length, because I had an idea I was going to shorten it. So this is one angle and this is a different angle all the way to the edge. There's no change in the angle when it gets to right here. So this is a steeper, more blunt angle. This is on like 8 degrees. No, this is on 15 degrees. It's more blunt in. And I did that for if somebody wants to baton, or usually what I do is I'll split like fat wood up. Small chunks of fat wood I've got, and usually I got some laying out here where I start fires with. See if I had a piece. Usually I got some laying right here somewhere. I guess I have burned it all up. I know I had some. So anyway, I don't have none out here. But anyway, I have little pieces like that big around that I'll cut up that long that I've got laying around, and I'll take them and make little splinters, but I'll just hit with the back of my hand. So I put a saw in it, and I cut that with a hand file, and it will saw. I mean, I'm telling you, it'll saw good. I put a gut hook in it so that if I'm skinning stuff and I want to use a gut hook, I can, but a lot of this is for hooking a pot over the fire. You can hook that handle and pull it off. And it is probably about 12, a little over 12 inches, something overall, right at 12, I don't know. Same handle design that's on the Jonah. I love my handle design. And this is out of the 1/8 of an inch thick material. So I just got crazy and designed me a knife that I wanted, and this one has not been heat treated yet. I'm still trying to decide if I want to slick the blade up on the side or if I just want to leave it dark. I like a dark blade, and it's gonna be a survival bushcraft type knife. I've got one like this that's got a hollow handle on it, but I welded the handle to a blade. Not sure how that's... So anyway, it was just a crazy design that I come up with. And I just pulled bits and pieces from other knives, from other stuff that I've seen other people do, and kind of made a hodgepodge, I guess you'd call it, of what I liked out of everything that I wanted on a knife. And I think that one is going to be about as close as you can make. Come on, Craig. You can come eat all that fish you want.
Yeah.
I'm done with it.
We're full.
I'm full up.
And I made a peach cobbler the other night with some fresh peaches, and it's in the refrigerator. I thought about warming it up, but we might wait till later tonight and eat that.
You know, we ain't got no ice cream, have we?
We ain't even got the stuff to make homemade ice cream.
I threw this rock salt in that bucket over there the other night. It was sweated on top of the refrigerator. It was a half a box of rock salt, but it was one solid rock. I just throwed it in the garbage. So y'all think that's gonna be a good knife? I'm excited. I wanted to get it done before it gets time for me to start getting into the swamp hard and heavy. And I should have already been there, but I can't go because it's been flooded. Right now it's perfect, but it needs to let the bank dry out just a little bit. So maybe next week I might get in the swamp, but I'm never gonna have my scales in time to finish this knife to take it. But what I want to do is I want to take my collapsible fishing pole and a handful of griddle baits or whatever kind of baits, and take a minimal amount of stuff and a hammock and my whoopee. And my hammock's got a bug net, and I want to pack down, and I can go anywhere I want to in that swamp and hit some of these back holes that nobody fishes and just ramble around and just camp out. And I may take the buggy. I want to do catch and cooks. I want to, it's about enjoying that swamp. So that's one of the reasons for moving Friday night live to Saturday night. Open up for a lot of that stuff. And I had somebody ask about a gut hook on knives. Would I ever make gut hooks? I can make gut hooks. It's just I'm not a huge fan of a gut hook on a knife. I do use them occasionally if they're on there. But as far as me just wanting a gut hook on my knife, I'd really just as soon it didn't have it. I can do about everything I want to do without it. The main reason I wanted the gut hook on here is, like I said, in a fire, you can reach over there and hook the bail of them little old bushcraft pots and stuff and pick them up off the fire if they hot. And that's what I like about it. But I'm going to play with this knife some and see what I like about it and see if there's things I want to change. I left the saw about 2.5 inches, and all that saw as far as for cutting grooves in sticks, for lashing and tying, if I want to make a spear and I need to cut a groove in a stick or whatever. It ain't for trying to saw up firewood. Then I've got a flat area back here for striking a ferrocerium rod and all of that stuff. And then I got enough room up here for my gut hook. And it's long enough and got that belly, I think it'll do some skinning. You keep all of this sharp. And then if I need to do any whittling and carving, I got this more blunt back here close that I can get up and do carving and cutting with that. So I'm going to run it a while and see if I like this design, and then we'll know. So it may be a meat cleaver, chopper, I don't know. It's going to be hard to knock Jonah out of the saddle, but...
Suzanne says she's praying to get to Texas in September, October, and come visit and get baptized.
Suzanne.
Offered.
From Australia?
Yeah, I asked her what part of Texas.
We've got family in eastern Texas.
My sister lives there.
We hadn't got no rain today. Or actually in the last couple of days, Craig.
Doug says he thinks something about the handle, the paracord in your pocket, the handle looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, the paracord's not going to stay there. I put the paracord on there just so I could feel of it today and see if I liked the length.
You're going to throw that.
Because I was thinking it is too long that I needed to cut it back about 1.5 inches. It's going to have green, OD green micarta handles with a fluorescent orange liner under it is how this knife's going to be when I'm done with it. I mean, I've already got that in mind. Yeah, I don't like a paracord wrapped handle at all. I just put that on there so I could get an idea of what it looks like. No, that definitely ain't a permanent thing. No, not even close. I'll never sell a knife with a paracord wrapped handle. Not for me. Yeah, Randy, you didn't miss nothing. We didn't go live last night. Panama City, Florida, Samuel Pruitt. David Wiggins, thank you. Yeah, I know the switching to Friday to Saturday night is going to throw a lot of people in a loop for a little while. And, back sometime last year, we swapped back and forth a little bit because there was stuff going on, and and I was worried about messing up people's Saturday night football, but For me, I need to do it on Saturday night. It's just Saturday nights are better for me personally, so that's the reason I done it. We'll get in the groove of it. It'll be good. I think it'll be worth it in the long run for all of us. I think you'll get more videos because of it. Fitz, we'll see you. We're not going to go no great long while. I'm probably going to shut this down at 9 o'clock because I've still got just in time to edit tonight. And so I got stuff to do and I'm about wore out, really. I ain't done nothing but fish hard this week. Well, I've made a couple of knives. I've made 2 or 3 knives this week, but.
And I've worked. I got a pottery order I'm taking to North Mississippi to drop off in Boonville at Corner Gifts. And it's a pretty big order, so I've been getting that together, and I got to get it boxed up and ready to deliver Monday morning.
John Thomas, I think Saturday night's better too. I didn't know about revival season, but now we have a lot of stuff, and usually we have a lot of Friday night events as well. So when something's going on, it seems to fall on a Friday night, and I think as far as churchgoers go, they don't plan a lot on Saturday so that people are not wore out for church Sunday. So yeah, most everything falls on Friday nights when we have church night events and stuff. Yeah, Greg, we got on that live this week. I know some of y'all seen I went live in the working on my net down there the other day, and it was raining, and I was just testing to see if I could go live in a knife shop. And here in the future, we're gonna do some lives working on knives. I may do a live when I put the handles and all on this when that stuff comes in, just so y'all can see. I've got people wanting to see how to wet form knives and stuff. And it'd be just as easy to do all of that on live. I got the yawning. I done got my belly full, I reckon. But I went live, and anyway, Brody was here and down there, and I don't know, somebody said something about him and a bandana, and he when I read the comment, he said, I'm going to go get one. And well, he went and got one, and when he realized he was getting some attention for it, now he's got to put one on every time we film a video. But now he's about done with it and pulls it off before we get through. So that's y'all's fault. That ain't on me. I'm going to blame y'all for that one. I'm liking my fishing hat. I've been getting good use out of my straw hat now. I'm proud of my hat. Abner, son of Ner. I'll have to look that up, Martin. Matter of fact, Martin, send me that in a text message, because this stuff in these comments I don't ever remember. Look up Abner, son of Ner. In the Bible. Just look him up in Google or wherever. I want to read about him. He said that he was pretty good at surviving. Him, and then I'm like, some of them talked about Elijah, you know, the ravens fed him and he survived. But now you can go back as far as...
You said Abner?
Abner, A-B-N-E-R, Abner, son of Ner, is what he said. I can't really vividly remember him. It seemed like I heard the name.
In the Hebrew Bible, Abner, also known as Abner, son of Ner, was the commander-in-chief of King Saul's army and Saul's first cousin.
RD2 said, reminds me of switching midweek services from Wednesday to Tuesday night would just about cause an uproar in the congregation. I'm going to tell you something. You ain't ever lied. You change anything in a church and you cause an uproar. I mean, I ain't never in my life seen a bunch of people that get sideways over little stuff as church folks now. and I'm church folks. I'm talking about it because I'm guilty. You change the music, and son, people will go slam sideways. They'll get mad and leave the church. And that I strongly disagree with, because just cause I get aggravated at them folks at the church, I ain't mad at God about it. And I'm going to that church because of the good Lord. I need Him. I can't even breathe right without Him. So maybe some of them people don't need Him bad as I do. I reckon. I don't know. But hey, I'm guilty. I get just as frustrated with stuff going on in the church as anybody else. So, I mean, I can talk about it because I'm guilty. I ain't trying to point fingers at everybody else like I'm innocent over here, you know. But we had to all get over it and go on. Robert Gentry, we really hadn't come up with a name for Brody's channel, and I really hadn't committed to building him a channel. We talking about it. The setback that I see personally is I'm the one that'll have to run it, because Michelle won't even run her own channel. She won't even film a video and put it on there.
Well,
so I'd have to run my channel and my knife business and Brody's channel and film everything. And I don't know if I can handle it right now.
I don't think he can handle it.
I don't think I could. I don't think I have time to run it. I really don't. The upside to it is, if I started Brody a channel now, in 5 or 10 years, by the time he's big enough to handle it and run it himself, he would have a channel maybe worth making a living at one day. You know, I don't know. I mean, he's already used to it, used to filming, used to being on camera, knows a little about it, you know. But I don't know. We just still discussing it. I hadn't really made a decision that, yeah, I'm going to start him a channel. Brody gets excited about it. And Brody's leaning towards, he likes Brody's World. But now, I don't know. I don't know what I need to do. I really don't. Yeah, William, you go in a church and sit down in somebody's saved seat and where their quilt's folded up, and you got a fight on your hands. Or move their Kleenex box, or, you know. My Bible was sitting right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you know, it's sad that it gets that way, but it's like that in every church. I mean, it's just that way. Well, Toby, the idea is he's the one wanting the channel. I'm not pushing him to have the channel. I'm hesitant. Brody's wanting to have his own channel. And it's about letting him film and do whatever he wants to do with it, so that he can be a boy. Brody's got a better opportunity at just having fun and being a boy as anybody, because we hadn't sent him to school yet, and probably not. We kept him out this year and homeschooled him, and we trying to decide, but they're discussing in our area, I've heard through the grapevine, now this ain't like legitimate for sureness, but they talking about sending them back to school next year at the end of June, really.
Well, over in July.
Well, in July. In other words, they not going to get
That's
but
what we've heard. That's just
about
talk.
5 weeks out for summer. And I'm against that totally. I mean, I'm hard against that. They're already going back too much. But what it is most people work 2 jobs, and they've got to find a babysitter for their kids for the summer while they out of school. And they'd rather them go to school year round, because it'd save them the price of a babysitter, not to mention all the ones that they got to feed that week at their home that they getting to eat while they're at school. So, you know, there's a lot of factors in all of this. It has its pros
You're
and
welcome,
cons.
Shirley.
Yeah, Lindsay, the most important part about any church is let's take the word and let's read what it says and let's try to align us to what it says. And not us try to take that word and find all the stuff in it that we like that fits our life and our lifestyle. Because I've said it like this, that word is supposed to be an anvil that I forge me over it. Not me be the anvil and me try to fold that word up and forge it to fit me, you know. It's supposed to shape me into what it is. So, and I don't think everybody sees it that way.
RTD says they have schools on the coast that do year-round school. Which Brody, we only do, our lessons are short. So like I can do his work only lasts for like an hour a day, and we haven't done any in a week. But so we can do schoolwork all through the summer. It's not like he's going all day long, so we can do his work all through summer.
Angie said let Brody start a series on your channel, kind of like you have your live series and your just-in-time series. See how that goes. That would probably be the most practical thing. But if I do that, it would be just as easy to have his own channel and just do one video a week on it. I mean, because if I got to film the video, edit it, and upload it, the same work is on me regardless of where I put it. So I just as well to let it be growing its own thing, you know. And if he gets sick of it and don't want to fool with it, turn it off. I mean, it ain't like, you know, that he's committed once he starts. And here's the thing, y'all talk about, you know, letting Brody be a boy, and I get that. I agree with that. Brody, I don't push him to be on camera. All through hunting season, you didn't see Brody go hunting with me much. Brody got disinterested with it. Brody hadn't wanted to go look for mushrooms. Brody hadn't wanted to go fishing. Brody hadn't wanted to do much of nothing up until about 2 or 3 weeks ago. All of a sudden, he turned around and he started wanting to do outdoor stuff again and be on camera. And while Brody was not interested in it, I didn't make Brody go fishing. I didn't make Brody come be on camera. I'll never push my young'un in front of a camera because it benefits me and gets me views. And yes, when Brody's on camera, I seem to get more views and response to Brody being there. But I'm not going to put him on camera just for views. If it's not something that he wants to do, I'll leave him playing with his army men in there. I'm not going to make him do nothing because I totally agree. He needs to live his own life and come to things in his own time and be a boy. And if he want, like this morning, well, he went with me this morning. The video that come out today, he didn't go with me. I got up, I said, Brody, are you going with me to check lines? I don't want to. I'm doing this. I said, all right. And I left him here and took Roscoe. So I'm not going to make him go do stuff. I'm not going to do that. You ain't missed nothing, Raymond. If I did do Brody a channel, it would just be one video a week deal. It wouldn't be like I do mine, trying to do a lifestyle, you know. Alicia Stringer, hello. Huckleberry, I agree. There's a lot of stuff, and we had a teacher in our school district here that was in the high school kids. Now, this was not in the little kid. This is in 17-year-old boys. But the teacher was having sleepovers at her house, and the boys was coming over there, and it had got out of hand, and they was text messages and stuff that they arrested her. Now, there hadn't been a trial, and I don't know what's become of it, but So you see what kind of stuff goes on out there, and I've kept my mouth shut about that situation because I'm a firm believer in they innocent until they proven guilty, and I don't want to go to bad mouthing and talking about people just on hearsay type stuff. So I don't know what happened, but just to make the point that you don't never know what's going on at the schoolhouse. So I understand it, and that's why I'd rather him not be there. And then all the agendas that they trying to indoctrinate him with all kind of stuff. I mean, they was stuff they taught me that I don't believe. I don't believe in evolution. There's a lot of people that do, and if you do, that's fine. I'm not mad at you that you do, but I just didn't. But I went to school and learned it and passed the grades with it. But you disagree with it. I just don't. It don't make sense to me. Common sense. Doug said put him on a short, coughing up hairballs. Yeah. Suzanne, to see that kind of stuff grates on my nerves. And they hadn't got that far here, but who is native? I'm native to here because this is where I'm born and raised. I mean, I'm from here. But everybody moved here from somewhere else. I mean, we all come from somewhere else. Everybody immigrated to somewhere. And I don't, there's a lot of stuff between cultures of people that if they would just leave it alone, everybody would get along a whole lot better. But the more they keep poking at it and meddling with it, messing with it, they're going to make it worse. So
Hey, did you tell everybody that we wasn't going to be on live next Saturday night?
We ain't.
We're at the wedding.
It'll be over with by 7 o'clock, won't it?
You going to help clean up?
No.
Listen to that, y'all.
I'm going to be live before your eyes on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube.
The wedding's at 4 o'clock, so he's got an hour. He's going to help us clean up. So he may be late for live next Saturday.
I got a wedding next Saturday, y'all. And a fish cooking supper Friday. So swapping nights ain't going to benefit us next week.
Huckleberry, well, he might. I don't know. It's according how fast we get cleaned up. We don't got a lot of decorations down there, but
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not gonna cancel the live yet. Y'all be well aware that I got a wedding next Saturday, so live may be hit or miss. But let me tell y'all this. I look forward to doing this live as much as y'all look forward to being here. Because it is a good sit-down, chit-chat, answer questions, take care of a lot of things that people want to say, hey, people want to interact, and I enjoy it. I really do. I like to read all these comments. I can't call out every name. I mean, we've got what? We got 200 people in here right now. Sometimes we have, when we was regular on Friday night, we was getting up to about 260, 300 at times. And we'll get back to there. I'm sure may have had that many now, but I enjoy doing this, so I don't want to just cancel the lives. I mean, it's as much fun for me as it is for y'all.
Yeah, he's going to be trying to get up here to do his live, and people's going to be sitting there eating, and he's going to come try to throw their plates in the garbage and get the tablecloths.
Now I'm going to walk up and leave them sitting there and come up here and turn the camera on. I may turn it on with them sitting there and be like, y'all look at these folks. They won't go home. How the old timers used to get rid of people. They'd get up and say, well, we better go to bed. These folks might want to go home. That's what I'm going to pull about 6:30. Tell them, oh, we'll see y'all later.
Look, he's going to be taking tables up and washing dishes.
Dishes?
No. That's women to wash the dishes.
Lord help. She's done told several people that I ain't never washed a dish in my life.
I don't know of him ever washing a sink full of dishes. Let me put it that way. Except for when I had Brody. Now, when I come home from the hospital with Brody, he did wash clothes and he did wash
I have
dishes.
washed a sink full of dishes on several occasions. Now, I don't do it regularly, no.
Several occasions. We've been married for
20-something years.
22 years, and he's washed dishes several times.
At least 10 or 12 times. I ain't trying to exaggerate like I do it all the time, but don't sit and say I ain't never done it. I can wash dishes. We won't get into all of that.
John
argument.
Thomas said they had a wedding at their church this evening, and he had to come home for the live. So you didn't help clean up either, did you?
Oh Lord, Glenn McDaniel, thank you. Tell your father-in-law I said thank you. He's the one we said hey that retired. We said hey to. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he needs to start him a channel.
Yeah, we'll watch it. Well, I say we will. I'll be honest with y'all now. I don't watch no whole lot of anything. Not on purpose, but I have got to get me a TV in my shed down there where I work on knives if I get to watch YouTube, because I can't watch it on this phone because I can't tote it around and all that and keep up what's going on. So I can listen to a book or something or the radio. But if I had it going up on the wall over there, I could look at it while I'm anywhere in the shop, and I might could watch YouTube again. But I really haven't been able to keep up with nobody's channels regularly. When I'm here, I'm too busy editing stuff.
John said he had to shut the building down from the wedding.
He Flint Knapp's knives. Now, see, that would be interesting. Thomas Shepard, good night.
Alicia Stringer says, get you a dishwasher. She said her husband does dishes. And Jeff Claudel says he does dishes every day.
Raymond said he'd come help clean up them tables so I could do live.
Y'all, I'm fixing to call it a night, too. Justin can sit out here, but I'm fixing to go in and start getting everything shut down for
Will you do me one
nighttime.
favor?
What is that?
Will you fill me up something to drink again? My throat,
You thirsting to death?
I'm about to die. That salty fish.
You had a Gatorade somewhere.
I finished it.
Oh.
I drank it and my tea. I'd rather have water, if you want to know the truth. I'm trying to stay away from sugars. I'm trying to limit what I eat. I'm on a diet, but it ain't one of them like we cut out anything. We're just trying to regulate stuff. But I like water. I don't have a problem with drinking water, so.
Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all.
Glenn said to
see y'all again. I don't know when it'll be.
Send him his pottery website, or our pottery website.
It's www.southernmudpotteryms@gmail.com.
That's the website?
No,
it's southernmudpottery.net.
Yeah,
you know
I'm sorry. I'm a nut.
Lord.
That's my email address. If y'all want to send me an email, that's my email address. southernmudpottery.net. Yeah, the reason I was talking about you going with Mr. Reeves fishing is I got his wife some pottery that I didn't ship, and I was hoping y'all would meet up and fish, but I'll go ahead. I need to ship it if y'all
I
like.
need to ship it because I got this whole week. I got wedding cleanup to do.
We thought y'all was gonna go fishing.
I got porch to clean up. I got carport. I got a washing machine sitting out there that I got to take the electric motor out of because I wanted the motor in case one of my motors quit on some of my belt grinders and stuff, that I would have a motor that I could make something, to get me by if I had to. And, but then that dryer, it's in a dryer is what it's in.
Yeah.
And it's got to go.
Yeah, we got to go to the dump next week.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff needs to be hauled there. Craig, I'm ready to go catch sockeye. Oh, I missed out on it here. I'm betting on the fall getting to fish for them some more, but we'll see, I reckon. Martin said just about done with the 50-year trial period. When is like you can cancel a trial, can't you, before the time's up? And you might not ought to do that. It'd be like Jerry Reed, you'd be got sick of eating your own cooking. Mike said he don't do laundry. There's too many rules. My deal's like with the clothes bags, which basket you put the clothes in. Because there's 4 or 5 sitting there and they're all about half full of clothes. Well, which ones is clean and which ones is dirty. And sometimes it's difficult to tell. My clean ones is like this. I got a big old stain on them. Well, that don't come out. So you can't look at it and tell. Well, sometimes mine you can look and tell, but there you go, cornbread. I washed them plates while I was down on the river, and I washed my knife on my blue jeans. That don't count. I did reach out an ice cream bucket to put fish in. That's got to count. I mean, that's got to count. Randy Beeson, yours is 35. Lord, Lord, Lord. I got ads coming up on my own video right here. I was trying to think of a good Jerry Clyward joke to tell. We hadn't told one in a while. There was one I was telling Brody about the coon hunting monkey. Brody had never heard about that coon hunting monkey, I think I told it though the other week on here, didn't I? Have I told about the coon hunting monkey on here recently? Yes, Michelle, it is the same. It's a dish. The knife and the pot camping and the ice cream bucket I put fish in, technically that's dishes. What do you think, Roscoe? Mama ain't in your chair no more. You can get your own chair over there. You've been bad needy lately. So let me address this. Everybody asked, well, how'd Roscoe do while y'all was gone? Well, Roscoe didn't do too well. Whenever we got home the other day, which was Monday, I reckon we pulled in. When I opened that front door, Roscoe liked to tore my shirt off of me climbing up in my lap and me standing up. And he got so excited that he got to coughing, and I had to get on the floor and hold him for about 15 minutes. I seriously thought he was going to have a heart attack. And he hacked and coughed, and finally he got calmed down. And I felt like he was going to be all right, but for a few minutes, it was kind of touch and go. I thought he was fixing to have a heart attack on me. He got beside himself. Well, Glenn McDaniel, send me an email or something. Get up with me where I can talk to y'all. Justin Peden at Gmail. Or the best way is if you got Facebook, get on the Facebook page on Spirit of the Outdoors and message me. It's hard for me to find people and be able to message people from that page because it's a page, not a person. But I can respond to stuff. message me on there. But if you don't have Facebook, email me. Yeah, Cornbread, I don't pay her no attention. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. If she don't think camping and washing dishes is the same thing, I ain't gonna pay it no attention. Just ignore it and go on. Randy, I have heard of Roy D. Mercer. Yeah, Uncle Sasquatch, I'm probably gonna wind up in one. I tell y'all one joke I told Brody the other night about Jerry Clywell. They was all done made them some homemade ice cream. They was sitting all around there on the porch eating it. And they looked over there, and one of them old coon dogs was laid on the porch. You know how that dog get to sleeping? They get to kicking his feet like that and a moaning in his sleep. Oh, Marcel, he said, I wonder what that dog's dreaming. Well, Eugene told him, Eugene said, well, Marcel said, you know, if you fold up a newspaper and slide it under that dog's head while he's dreaming that, and then you take that same newspaper and put it under your pillow tonight, you'll dream the same dream that dog dreamed. Boy, Marcel jumped up right in there and got him a newspaper out off the nightstand in there by the table, off the coffee table. Folded it up, run over there, and he slid it under that old hound dog's head. Sit down over there, and that hound dog on it just a whimpering and a kicking his feet, laying there. You know, he was chasing a coon or something, and they didn't know what he was doing. They just all sitting there imagining what that dog was dreaming. At night, old Marcel laid down in the bed, stuck that newspaper under his pillow, said he laid down grinning from ear to ear. Knew he was going to dream the same thing that dog dreamed. Over in the middle of the night, Uncle Versi heard Leah beating on the door out there, screaming and hollering, come quick, Uncle Versi. Said, it's Marcel. Said, he'd come quick. Oh, Uncle Versi jumped up, thought something was bad wrong, come running out on the porch in his nightgown, and that's all he wore was just an old nightgown. And said he run out on the porch and said, what in the world's the matter? And she said, come quick. Said, Marcel's out here in the backyard, got his head hung in a salmon can. He that dog dreaming about salmon. Marcel done get out there and got his head hung in a salmon can. Larry Alexander there, y'all. I knew he was missing some folks. Y'all talking about starting your own YouTube channel. It's a lot of fun. I have enjoyed it. It's very rewarding. But let me tell you, don't think for a minute it ain't a lot of work. It just is, but now it's fun. It is fun. It's worth it. I enjoy doing it. I have met a lot of wonderful people, but know this. When you put your life on the internet, you're going to get some hateful buttholes that want to say all kind of ugly stuff to you, and you just got to learn how to turn them off and go on and not let it eat on you. Because even good people feel like when they get on the internet that they can say the ugliest stuff to you that they wouldn't dare say to your face. And I've had a lot of people that I even knew get on there and jump on me about odd and end stuff that I knew good and well they wasn't man enough to look me in the eye and tell me. And people like that, block them, I'm done with them. If you're gonna get on the internet and mouth off, I don't have I don't have no respect for them kind of folks. But what I'm saying is you got to be prepared when you put your life on the internet to be able to handle that and deal with it because you're going to get it. I mean, you just, hey, some people that they just hateful and they wake up in the morning and I want to see who all I can be hateful to, and that's the way they live their life. So there you go, Uncle Sasquatch. Well, see, I ain't fortunate enough to be pretty as you to where they want to be nice to me. I'm ugly. They feel like they talk to me like dirt. Oh, Lord. I know that ain't what you meant, but I had to spin it on you. Oh, Lord. Hillbilly Woodrum, how are you tonight? Glenn, yes, now some of the basic Jonah knives, I don't heat treat at all. I grind them out, and that's it. I cut them out with a cut-off wheel out of a saw blade. They're already at about a 62 Rockwell. So I don't have to heat treat them as long as when I'm grinding them, I don't get them too hot. But now this knife here will get heat treated. All these metals, and I really don't know that this particular piece of steel would require it, but I will heat treat it to make sure. I just want to make sure I got a good knife, and all of these thicker metals I'm heat treating, and then all the masonry saw blades that I'm starting to make knives out of, all of them have to get heat treated. And what it done is it's gonna bump the price up on the knife. $20 or $30 is it, but it's just a process and a cost of gas and electricity and time that I have to add to it, and I can't just eat it and keep doing, and stay ahead. Robert Getty, yeah. Yeah, most of them are like that. I tell you what most of them are. Most of them are men that's used to their wives bossing them around and hollering at them and fussing at them about every little thing, and they scared to death of her, so they get on the internet to vent. And they mouth off to people on the internet, because their wife been mean to them all week. And they get on there to release it because they scared to say anything to her. That's exactly the kind of people it is. Yeah, Suzanne, I don't know. And here's the thing that bothers me really is why can't people disagree on something and be nice and polite and just, okay, well, I don't like what you think about that, but that don't mean I don't like you. Now, if somebody votes differently than you, if I like, one of you likes red and the other likes blue, well, we can't even be friends no more because you vote different. What happened to us keeping who we voted for to ourselves and just mind our own business and go on? Now everybody's political view has to be their whole personality. I don't, that's what I don't understand. Because if you want my honest opinion, they ain't none of them up there in Washington right now that I like at all. And I'm talking about right now in the last 20 years. I don't think none of them is up there really for my personal benefit. Now, I've choose between the lesser of two evils, but as far as me just being head over heels about folks, I don't like a politician. I really don't like the government meddling in my business at all. I mean, that's just the way I see it. And I sure ain't gonna get mad and red-faced defending a politician. It ain't gonna happen. If you don't like one of them, well then okay. Well, I don't like none of them. We together on this. Glenn, I don't. You can say I'm right that much, but you know, in all honesty, I don't feel like I'm probably right on everything. Now, I'm probably firm in my opinion on it. It's like grinnell. I love grinnell, and I had somebody today trying to tell me they wouldn't fit to eat. I'm like, okay, you know, I mean, I don't care if you don't like them and don't eat them. It ain't gonna change my life, not one bit. But there's no possible way you're gonna convince me that they're not good because I didn't eat too many of them, you know? So why are we arguing about this? Why are you telling me that they're no good when you see me eating them? Yeah, I mean, what is the purpose of this? I don't. So we get into these conversations that don't make any sense because you're not going to change somebody else's mind. When you know their mind's made up on something, there's no point in. So what I do is I get on the internet and I show you how I prepare them and how I cook them and what I'm fishing with and what I'm catching and what I'm not catching. And there's times that maybe I'm using the wrong bait or the wrong technique or hunting in the wrong way, or, you know, there's people that don't like hunting over corn. I hunt all different kind of ways. I like to stalk and really hunt game. But I don't have no problem with sitting down when it's drizzling rain and I'm tired and watching a feeder either. You know, I realize that it's more challenging to stalk a deer down. Yeah, I've done it. But there's no point in belittling somebody for their method of doing something. And I see it in the outdoor world a lot. Well, you know, oh, you ain't a real hunter if you use a recurve bow, or you ain't a real hunter if you use a compound bow, or you ain't a real hunter if you use this or use that. Well, we're trying to encourage everybody to take care of their own, feed their own. Well, what difference does it make to me what they use to do it? Long as they killing their own game or catching their own fish and they're cleaning it and eating it. I don't care how they skin it. I don't care how if they soak their deer meat in water or if they hang it up and let it air dry. I mean, it makes no difference to me. I'll show you how I do it, but I don't necessarily think that's the only way it can be done. But most people, they view things as the way they do it is the only right way. And well, you get on the internet, you find them quick. Uncle Sasquatch, I'll be honest with you, I don't care if they do it illegal. Really, I mean, if they're not killing way too many. My biggest gripe is don't be going out there killing a bunch of stuff that you're not going to eat. Don't just be catching 300 fish and then you let them run in the freezer and throw it out some other time. I mean, I don't like that kind of stuff. You know, if the only way you can be successful killing a deer to feed your family is to shoot him with a light at night, I don't agree with it. I'm not going to do it, but there was a time in my life that I did. And if that's the only way you can feed your family, well, then okay. But, I'm not going to say it makes it right or okay. But it don't make me mad, in other words. Now, if you riding the roads out here shooting toward houses off the side of the road out here in people's yards, then yeah, I got a problem with that. But, yeah, long as you ain't hurting somebody else or affecting somebody else's life, and unmercifully killing a bunch of stuff that you're not using, I don't let too much upset me anymore. Now, there's been times that it did, but I done learned that you can't change somebody else. You can scream at them till you blue in the face, and they gonna do what they gonna do regardless. Very few people can you help. And really the only ones you can help is the ones that's looking for help. And that's why YouTube is a wonderful thing, is because most of the time when somebody gets on a video, they're looking for knowledge. They're trying to figure out how you do something, how you're being successful, or what you did. They're looking for knowledge, and they're able to, you can teach people like that. You can help them kind of people, but you're not going to just grab somebody over here and start telling them how to do something they ain't interested in it, because they ain't going to listen to you not one bit. All right, let me get off that soapbox. That's my ranting about people soapbox. And the thing y'all will find out about me is I'll try a little bit of everything. You know, I'll hunt with a recurve, I'll hunt with a longbow, I'll hunt with a compound bow, and I'll shoot a rifle, I'll shoot a muzzle loader. I ain't against none of it, you know. I ain't mad at somebody for using a crossbow. I hear people that say, oh, them crossbows ain't real bows. I could care less what you hunt with. As long as you go hunting and enjoy hunting, have at it, you know. More power to you. You like to drive a Ford, or you drive a Chevrolet, or you drive a Dodge, or if you ride a mule and a wagon, you know, as long as you get where you're going. But these folks that they'll argue they blue in the face about what kind of vehicle you want to ride. And I've been there. I used to. I used to think Chevrolet was the only thing they made. And I still like Chevrolets, but I got a Ford sitting right there. I guess I got to an age that stuff just wasn't as important. I used to think Chevrolet was the only thing they made. And I still like What Chevrolet. In the world? I got a Ford sitting right there. This thing started hollering at me. Did y'all hear that? Lord help. I heard my own voice like it scared me to death. Uncle Sasquatch, you a Dodge man. Hey, Lissy come home Wednesday in a new Dodge Durango. She her future husband bought it for her. I think she's gonna make the payments, but he signed the papers. She come driving up in it. Yeah, Jeff, you get roasted for using a crossbow. But I've thought about getting me one at times because I can shoot it during bow season out of a shooting house. I mean, they all got their purposes. Yeah, Alicia, I just read your comment. I understand. I know what you mean. You know, you take like all of us. We can disagree on how something should be done, or how you may like something that I'm totally against doing. You know, that don't mean we can't be friends and be cordial and me just ignore. Okay, well you and religion is one of those big topics. And as I preach, and I preach what I believe. Then the people that love everything I do, except they disagree on some details of what I believe, then all of a sudden they got to get ugly about it. And you know, what happened to, okay, well, you think that, well, I disagree, and I'm going, and you tell me you disagree. I don't have a problem with that. But don't get ugly with me, you know. Larry, we cooked fried fish. We fried some of these catfish that we've been catching in the last week. I had never seen a monarch, Robert. I tell you what I have seen. Whoa, where's it at? Wrong pocket. I've seen these yellow queens. Look, I've been toting that. And I like this yellow queen now. And I got two of these. I got the bone handle, and now I got the yellow handle. The yellow handle's just classic old knife, and it's more for case. But these queens is. I talked to a buddy of mine that he's got some of the newer queens. The old American queens. So they finna start making them over here in Alabama, and when they get them a run out from that factory, I want one out of that factory over there. I just become a fan of queen knives. I've got a queen trapper down there. But you better get them while they still on eBay for $20-something, because I don't figure they're going to be that long. I'm just saying. John, they good knives, ain't they? They are. You got the bone handle. That's what I've got. And the quality of them is in the spring, how the blade locks and holds. It ain't no play in it. And I'm talking about after using it a lot, it's still solid. I mean, I'd put them up against most other knife makers as far as quality, but now I realize they got China wrote on the blade. I mean, that's China. But now it don't reflect the old cheap junk China you think of. So you got to admit, though, China's had a lot of practice at making stuff in the last 25 or 30 years. So, you know, they've had more practice than we have at most things. Huckleberry, you were exactly right. It's what makes us all. And you know, when somebody's different, they think different, and they do. That's how if we're able to come together from opposing opinions and talk about it, we can find common ground. But if we find somebody has a different opinion and I can't listen to their opinion and how they present it and the way they back it up and think, and just listen to it and try to at least understand their viewpoint, whether I agree with them or not, how do I ever learn and grow myself, you know? And it's not about the belief system. It's all about the person. And it reflects what's in here, really, is what I think. And they get... I've had some people get... Usually, my bandana is a thing that sets people off, I think. And it's usually older men that it just grates on their nerves that I wear this bandana. And I don't really get it from YouTube as much as I do on Facebook, because I've hit 100,000 or better on Facebook. So you're getting a lot broader audience of random people with them reels. And they don't have no problem just jumping on there and commenting something, which is good for the algorithm. But you get a lot of this hateful, and you just, you know, when they see this bandana, they think I'm some hoodlum from off the street, I reckon. I don't know. And they don't never get any further past that. They automatically label me as something when they see that. And they don't think I'm country because I got this bandana on. And I don't feel like I got to prove to them that I'm country. I think I've done enough to show them if they can't see it, they ain't never going to believe it. Robert Getty, I just got this queen off of eBay. This queen right here I ordered about 2 weeks ago on eBay. Queen fish knife. I had to pull my phone out. They may not be today now. I ain't looked in the last week. But I ordered that one about 2 weeks ago. John said them old men's wives won't let them wear a bandana. That's about the case. And it ain't all of them. I mean, I'm just saying, when I have somebody jump on me about just randomly, usually with a bandana, it's always an older man. They just, I don't know. That's just who does it. Never had a woman say it was ridiculous. I've never had a younger man criticize it. And I've had younger men criticize other things. And it's all right. Let them get mad if they want to. I could care less. I just ain't going to listen to it. When they start getting personal and ugly, I just, boom, they gone and that's it. They out of my, I don't have to worry about it no more. Well, Mike Culpepper, you get that crossbow out and go back to bow hunting. Don't give it up yet. So y'all, old Marcel, they told him that, said there's this fellow over there in other county, said he'd catch more coons than y'all can in a night. Marcel said, you a bald-faced lie. They said, well, they're going to have a coon hunt. So this fella showed up, pulled up, and they all got together, had old Highball in the back of the truck. They had old June, had a Clovis's dog, and they had 2 or 3 more. Said that fella pulled up, had this big old cage in the back of it. Said they got out there and got talking. Said, you ready to go? And he said, yeah. I said, I'm ready to go. And said he opened that cage up and said, people, said there wasn't no dog in that cage. He said when he got that cage open, said there was a monkey in there. And he said, Marcel said, whoo. Said, no. Said, do you shut that thing back? Said, don't you let him out of there. Said, Said, he looks too much like folks. He said, Said, I ain't taking my dog with that trashy thing. And they said, well, what we need is one good coon dog. He said, and I'll show you how to catch more coons. He said, the hides are expensive. He said, but I get me a good coon dog, and said, he'll tree the coon, and said, this monkey will go up there and get the coon. Said, you don't lose coons. Said I'll get more coons in a night with one dog and this monkey than y'all will get hunting in a week. Well, old Clovis said, well, I'll take old June and we'll go. And they loaded up and they headed off down into the swamp and got down there and turned old June out. She struck a trail. I mean, lit in after one, said in all a minute, said she was treed up. Said all the barking you ever heard. And said they turned that monkey loose and said, folks, said that thing had a flashlight in one hand and a pistol in the other one. Said up that tree he went, boogity, 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 out on every limb, shining, shining, shining. Said what he does, said he finds a raccoon with that flashlight. Said and he shoots that raccoon out of the tree. Said, well, he runs all over every limb up in that tree. Said he ain't found no coon yet. Said down the tree he comes. Said he took that pistol, thumb cocked it and stuck it up to old June's head and said, whoom, just killed him, graveyard dead right there. Clovis said, man, said, what in the world? Said, that trashy thing has killed my dog. Said, that man said, Clovis, said, there ain't but one thing that monkey hates worse than a raccoon. Said, and that's a lying coon dog. Mike Culpepper, you ain't ever lied. When the mosquitoes is eating you up and you're sweating like crazy, it's hard to hunt. And then when you kill something, you got to fight the flies over it. That's the part I don't like. But I did get one during bow season this past year. I don't kill a bunch of them during bow season, though. Jason McKenzie, you right. And we got a bunch of them in our church that they don't like it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan of it. But now we play it and I worship with it and go on like it. And some of the songs I like. But now what I'm after in worship service is the message in the song. And I can listen to any of it if it's godly and we play it at church. But I like the older music preferably. But I don't get sideways when they ain't playing my style. But we got some that do. We got some don't like it, not in their bit. Robert, I had to look. They may be now. I'm not arguing because it's been about 2 weeks since I ordered one, and I tell you what, when I was looking at them, they was $19 about 6 months ago, and I looked, and the lowest one I could find the other day was $25, and I went ahead and ordered it. And Joey Martin over at M4 Laserworks sent me a picture. He has just come in. He just bought one. But I don't know where he ordered his. I don't think he ordered his on eBay. Let me find out where he got his. And there may be somewhere else to order one, Robert. Well, well, well. What now, y'all? Looks like we're down to about 160. Everybody about ready to go to bed. So Smoky Mountain Knife Works has got them. I hadn't. I'll do some looking when I get off the phone, off the live, and I'll see where all I can find them, and I'll try to mention it in the video next week somewhere. We'll sit down and we may do a live some point next week in a knife shop. We'll see. I ain't gonna promise we are, but we'll check. I've got tomorrow Just in Time will come out. I've got to edit it, and then I've got 2 more limb hook videos in the boat. Me and Mr. Raymond Rogers on here took Brody yesterday evening and put out limb hooks, and then me and Brody went back this morning and pulled them up, and we caught some fish. So I've got 2 videos off of that, and then we're going to be done with the limb hooking for a little while. I got 2 buckets of catfish. Brody's wanting to go to Tom Bigby and run jugs, and I'm going to see. I don't know how many folks I got to feed catfish, but I've got a bag of Tom Bigby River cats in the freezer, and so I may have enough. I just got to figure out how many folks I'm feeding that night. But y'all, I'm about ready to wind it down. Here is 9:15. It has been a long day for me. I have enjoyed the live tonight. I enjoy it every night. So just once again, those of you new, Larry Alexander, I know you didn't see this. You wasn't on here yet. You did miss that. This is a prototype, and no, this paracord is not the permanent handle. I have got green micarta ordered that will go on this knife. I just put this paracord on there so I could hold it and see if I liked it, the feel. I haven't even heat treated this yet, so it's got a gut hook. It's got saw on it. It's got 2 different complete grinds here. This is like 8 degrees. This is 15 degrees all the way to the edge. It ain't like William Collins where he grinds a little bit and then he puts the same grind on the whole thing. And I don't know exactly how long, but it's got a flat space here for the strike that Ferrocerium rod. So anyway, that's gonna be the new survival knife design as of right now. But that was the only thing that you really missed. And I haven't even sharpened this one. I just ground the edge down, and it really ain't ground all the way to a cutting edge yet. I'll run it through the heat treat before I do that. I just wanted to get a feel if I was worried that it was too long, that I needed to shorten it. But I think I'm happy with that length. So anyway, that's gonna be all for tonight. I have enjoyed it. We cooked fish, had a good meal. But I'm be honest with you, I'm tired. I've run myself ragged this week fishing, putting out fishing videos. I'm ready to do some camping. So next week will be a lot of work. I got 2 fishing videos coming out. I may space them. And we may get to do another fishing trip next week. I don't know. The water is going to be right, so I may actually take the bicycle and ride it down to one of the fishing holes at the river and fish if I can. I would love to do that. Won't be keeping any fish, but I'd go down there and catch one. Unless I catch a gruntle, I'd about have to bring him home, I think, Cookie. I don't know. I'm thinking about that hard. But the water is inside the banks, and if it don't rain by middle of next week, the water should be decent. So anyway, we'll be prepping for wedding all next week. And like I said, the live next week is right now iffy because I do have a wedding next Saturday at 4 o'clock. I'm going to try to do the live. And look, if I'm not here at 7, instead of canceling, I may show up at 8 and jump on. I don't know. I don't want to just say, hey, we're not doing the live, because I look forward to doing it. So anyway, thank y'all for tuning in, spending Saturday night with us. Look forward to seeing y'all in the morning on Just in Time. I think y'all will really enjoy it. I think you'll get a lot out of this one. I really felt good about when I filmed it, as I was filming it. I think it's a good one. But I appreciate all of you support me. All of you that's tuned in watching. God bless all of you. And remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one. Old Roscoe's conked out. Hey, old Roscoe got a flea peel today. We've been pulling ticks off of him. Says Mama went and got him one of them flea and tick peels. Got them old boogers off of him, didn't we? Come here, buddy. Come on. That's my buddy, y'all, right there now. Ain't you? We buddies? Yeah, we buddies, ain't we? All right, we'll see y'all.